Hey guys, so I was on Facebook last night and I noticed that someone on the NC Miata Facebook page was selling a Roadster Sport race muffler, the single tip. I have the Roadster Sport street muffler single tip. I think my exhaust is quiet, so I wanted something a little bit louder. I looked on the zip code that he had listed, and it turns out that he pretty much lives in a neighboring town. We're going to meet right in the middle, and I'm going to pick up the muffler that he has for sale. I know someone else, a few other people here with NC Miatas, and I know one of the guys says that he had a stock muffler, and he was looking into maybe a different muffler. So I actually contacted him and said, hey man, I'm probably going to get this race muffler. Do you want my street muffler? And he said yes. So for the most part, I'm basically getting a free muffler out of it. I'm going to buy a muffler, and then the other guy's going to buy my muffler off of me for the exact same price that I buy my muffler. So I'm headed over to meet the guy now. I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. Stay tuned. Hey guys, sorry for not the best angle. And it's raining out, so my wipers are on, and you can probably hear the raindrops, maybe not. But the reason I'm making this is I'm going to be swapping out my exhaust, and I kind of wanted to just make a video of what the car sounded like right now, which would be the stock header, the stock mid-pipe, and then a Roadster Sport street single muffler. So right now I'm just kind of driving, letting the background noise in, you guys hear it. And then the plan would be is when I swap out to the new muffler to go ahead and create the exact same video. So right now I'm in third, 3,000 RPM, going about 40. I'm going to shift into fourth. So it's pretty quiet in my opinion. In the cabin I can kind of hear a little bit of a deep hum, but for the most part I don't feel like it's a really loud car at all. Even if let's say I shift down, I'm going to shift down in a second, you can hear the RPMs go up, and I'm going to floor it. Like it got louder, but it's not really all that loud. I'm not a big fan of that. I kind of like hearing my engine a little. I kind of like hearing my exhaust, I should say. I feel like with the stock manifold, the stock mid-pipe, and this Roadster Sport single muffler, it's not loud enough for me. So I'm going to be upgrading. Alright, so right now I'm at a stoplight. I'm going to go ahead and try to accelerate through my gears, at least first through third. It is raining, so it might not be the best. Alright. Alright, so that was just first through second. Got up to 40 really quick. Speed limit's 35 here. But really all I'm really trying to do is show you guys that there isn't really a lot of noise that's going on. I'm going 40, I'm going to throw it in neutral. I'm just going to rev it. So you can kind of hear me just revving it. And really nothing as far as ridiculously loud exhaust goes. I will do a startup video. It won't be a cold start since I've already been driving the car. But I'll go ahead and do that next. And the reason I'm doing it now is because I'm getting rid of the exhaust that I have now. I'm selling it to a friend to make up for the cost of the one that I'm getting. In the end, I'll end up costing me nothing. Alright guys, so I picked up the Roadster Sport race single exit exhaust. It's a used one, and like I said, I'm picking up this one, and then I'm going to be selling my Roadster Sport Street version, and I'll compare the both of them. But right now I kind of just wanted to let you guys see what this is. So if you look, it's pretty simple. Normally you'd have a big huge muffler right here and it'd be dual exit. Right now it's just single. So you can see the two hangers that are on there, and then this one has the kind of hard to see, can't get a good angle, but there's the baffling that's in there. You can see this bolt right here, you'd loosen that and then you could take that baffling out. If you look, there's a little bit of a dent here. Other than that, not that big of an issue. The muffler itself is still pretty shiny, but everything else kind of looks dirty. I might look into polishing that up. But you see there's the hardware, and then you got the gasket, and then the inlet there. But pretty simple design. I'm going to take some measurements so that you guys could kind of just see what the actual measurements are. So right here, the opening, if you look, is 2.5, and then over here on the tip should also be 2.5. So there's the tip, it's also 2.5. It's actually a little bit more, but you got to remember this is angled slightly. So 2.5. So it's a 2.5 in, 2.5 out, and you got the muffler there. So on the street version, it's supposed to be a bigger muffler, and then my street version has a different tip on it. You can see there the Roadster Sport's in it. So that's pretty much what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and work on pulling my stock one off, and then I'll show you a short video of them together. Might actually polish this up first. Alright, got it all polished up. I didn't do the whole entire thing. I only did what I felt would be exposed the most. It's not really a show car, even though I bring it to meets and shows. It's going to be a daily driver, so I know it's going to get dirty from time to time. But I polished the muffler there, and then polished the tip. What I did is I just used regular soap and water excuse me, to clean up all the dirt off of it. Then I used Mother's polish, and used my drill with a little 4-inch pad on it to apply the Mother's polish. So pretty much, you know, circular, as quick as the drill could go, and kind of just worked my way around the whole entire muffler and then the tip. And then once it showed like the black oxidizing kind of dirty look, I stopped, and I go ahead and took a clean rag and I just hand polished everything up. So you can see it's a lot shinier than it was before, and then looks pretty decent. So as soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the other muffler and compare these. Like I said, it's raining, so I'm not going to get the best video, but I kind of just wanted to show you guys what it looked like on the car. You can see it's a rolled tip, and it's a bigger tip, and then down here you can see there's the muffler, and there's where it connects. I'm going to do startup and then like kind of rev it to keep my car out of the rain. I'm going to put it towards underneath the car basically, and it's just going to be pointing up. Alright, so I did start up, and then I revved it up to almost redline twice, and then around 3,000 RPM twice. So that's what it sounds like. I'm going to try to remove this exhaust without getting too wet. Alright guys, here's the comparison side by side, what they look like. You can see the major difference is going to be the size of the muffler that's on there. The one on the race muffler is half the size of the one that's on the street muffler. Other than that, everything's generally the same, except for on the street muffler, right there, there's a wider rolled tip, whereas on the race muffler there isn't one at all. So those are your biggest differences right there. If you're wondering what the differences are, besides what you've seen or read online, this is the main difference. I mean, this canister right here, look at that difference right there, it's huge. And then it looks like the tip is pretty much going to be around the same length, so but that canister is huge compared to the race and street. So street's the bigger one on the top and race is the smaller one on the bottom. Alright, so I have the race muffler already installed. If you look, the tips looks different. Like I said, the Roadster Sport street muffler had a rolled tip that was wider. This one has just a straight, slightly angle cut tip that comes out, 2.5 inch opening. You can see it there. If you're wondering how to install these, there's really just 2 bolts right there. On this one, it was a 16 millimeter bolt with a 18 millimeter nut and washer, and then you have your hanger right there, and then let's see if you can see the other hanger. The other hanger back there, you kind of just slide those off, and then it just bolts on. If you have to take your stock exhaust off, there's also 2 hanging points there. You can see I still have the rubber hanger on it, but that's what you would do. But I'm going to go ahead and do startup. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera back up. Alright, so that was a startup, and then revving it up to about redline twice, and then about 3,000 or 4,000 RPM twice. From inside the cabin it sounded slightly louder, but really not much louder. Alright, so I have the muffler on. Just started up the car. I'm going to go ahead and go for a short drive so that we could try to compare interior cabin noise from this race muffler versus the street muffler from Roadster Sport. I can tell you now, my first impressions are it is a little bit louder, but it's not significantly louder. I'm sure if you were going from maybe stock to a race muffler, it'd be louder, but going from the street muffler from Roadster Sport to the race muffler from Roadster Sport, it's not much louder. Maybe a little deeper tone. Definitely a little louder. I'm not saying it's the same, just not much louder. I'm at a stop right now. Like I said, it's raining, so I can't really go too crazy. So first gear, second, third gear about 40. Shifting fourth just now. Yeah, at normal cruising, for sure a little bit louder, but not significant enough. So if you have a street muffler and you want something a little bit louder, don't be afraid of the race muffler because it's definitely not much louder. If you want something significantly louder than the street muffler, then I don't know if the race muffler is really there for you. I know that Goodwin Racing did like measurements as far as dB levels go, and I can't remember what the street muffler was, but I believe the race muffler was something around 85 dB from 50 feet away at full throttle or something to that extent. But I can tell you right now, just from driving this, it's not all that loud, and it's actually comfortable enough that it's still good for daily driving. Oh, there goes my camera. Alright, I'm back. My camera decided to fall all over the place. But what I was saying, as far as daily driving goes, if you have the stock header and the stock mid-pipe, I think that this is definitely the way to go if you want just a little bit louder of a noise, a little bit louder of exhaust, I should say, without it being too crazy. Third gear, 40. I know I should definitely get something to hold my camera so it doesn't flop all over the place, some sort of mount. Definitely look into that. Sorry that it's doing this, but really this video is just to hear what's going on, and I like it. I think really it's free for me. Like I said, I'm selling my street muffler for $100, and I bought this race muffler for $100. So in the end, it's free. So I think it was worth the experiment to try to figure out whether or not the race or street muffler is better as far as sound goes. I would say my final assessment so far is if you are torn between a race or street from Roadster Sport and you're worried about it being too loud, have a street, dropped again. If you have a stock header and a stock mid-pipe, then just go ahead and go with the race one. There's not going to be enough of a difference between the street one and the race one if you want a louder exhaust. I'm happy I did it. I think it sounds great. Hopefully you guys like this video of comparing the Roadster Sport Street versus the Roadster Sport Race mufflers and seeing what they look like on the car and hearing it. Thank you. Hit like, hit subscribe.